Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members, honored guests. Since this is my second icebreaker speech with Toastmasters, I would like to share why I went to Toastmasters in the first place. I'll give you some background about myself, describe my challenges with public speaking, and talk about my Toastmasters experience. I was born in the US and I made Aliyah to Israel when I was 2 years old with my mother. We have consecutive ID numbers. Hers ends 455 and mine is 456. Growing up in northern Israel, I was a combination between an introverted school and a little bit more outgoing with my friends. I did have some leadership roles. I was the captain of the National Israeli Baseball Little League team back in 1990. I was a counselor with the Israeli Scouts and later became a baseball coach. But I never really had any big public speaking opportunities until the night before my bar mitzvah. I couldn't fall asleep the entire night. My father was giving me pep talks, and he was trying to convince me that if I envision putting to sleep various body parts of mine, it would be almost as good as sleeping. Not entirely true, but I did end up falling asleep for about an hour, and the next day I actually did quite well in my parasha and haftarah. I pretty much forgot about public speaking for a little over a decade, until I went to law school, where I met a bunch of people who were very eager to be heard in front of large audiences. Not me. I wanted to avoid it at all costs. I didn't speak in the big classes. I spoke occasionally in the small classes, and I did a couple of PowerPoint presentations in the context of seminars. I did okay, but I didn't like how nervous I got before and how long it took me to prepare. Then in 2009, I went to San Francisco for my graduate degree. And to my horror, I discovered that I would have speaking opportunities in front of my peers every class, once a week for 2 years. I was devastated. I told my friends about this and they're like, what's the problem? You know how to speak English. But this was public speaking, a whole different story. I remember my first class was with Rich Cellini, very seasoned public speaker. He's a sports announcer. The class was leadership and critical thinking. I remember sitting in session in one of the classes, and all of a sudden the door flings open and two confused college girls walk in. They look at him and they say, "Excuse me, is this public speaking 101? He looks at them and he says, "No, but did you know that some people fear death more than public speaking?" Of course, the saying is the exact opposite. Some people fear public speaking more than death. As we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people would rather be in the casket than delivering the eulogy at a funeral. Anyway, I consulted with my cousin in California, and he said, "Why don't you try Toastmasters?" And I didn't know what Toastmasters was. The only thing that came to mind was 2 pieces of bread with cheese in between, like we know here in Israel. He said, no, proposing a toast and giving a speech. And I thought it was kind of a refreshing idea because the only thing I knew about public speaking was in Israel, and there was always debate, arguing a point, winning an argument. That's a whole other ballgame. I went to Toastmasters, the San Francisco Rhino Business Toastmasters Club, and I discovered the whole world. I met some great people. There was networking, food, which is really important, but most of all, great people who provided a supportive and safe environment to work on your public speaking, develop your leadership skills. And a lot of these people really inspired me and became my friends. They're my friends to this very day. There's Aaron Daniels, who started his business this year. Anthony Hogan, who actually made a business out of public speaking. He now coaches people how to public speak. Just recently, he visited Mexico, where he's giving seminars on public speaking. And then there's Jean-Francois Roy, the Frenchman. He was a member of our club, but also president of his club in his high-tech company, where they convene once a week during a lunch hour, kind of like what Daniel here is trying to do in Jerusalem. So I started assuming roles within Toastmasters in San Francisco, and I got better at it, gained a little bit more confidence, and I started seeing results out of the club. One time I had to go visit Israel for a few weeks, and because of this I had to miss 2 classes in my marketing class. And the professor said, "Fine, you can miss classes, but you're going to have to do a makeup assignment. Go to Israel, research a topic about Israeli sports, come back, and give a 20-minute talk in front of your class." So I went to Israel, I researched Israeli basketball, which I really like. I came back to San Francisco, I gave a 30-minute talk, which I really enjoyed. And at the end of it, a couple of my peers came up to me and they said to me, Roni, what are you doing different? You're actually getting good at this. So I said, I go to Toastmasters. I went to the US with a specific game plan in my mind. It wasn't entirely fulfilled. But as they say, that life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. I'm glad I ran into Toastmasters, and it made a big difference for me, a positive impact, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you.